Stay off the weed.
Hello, my more brothers, back again. And I know I'm late to the party, and there's probably been 1,000 videos done on this. And I actually did comment on this on Saturday at Art of It Moore's channel. We talked about Sha'Carri Richardson, who I happen to like. I think she's a good athlete. I think she's a good runner. Do I like her style? No. I mean, let's be honest, she's a hood rat. But she's a talented hood rat. And I was rooting for her because I wanted to see an American girl actually perform and like bring home the gold. Hey, and go USA, go black women, go black people, because she's actually an example for other women, other girls, other folks, where she go out and compete and do great things. I have no problem with women that actually go out and compete and actually perform, you know, instead of all this whining and I want to be special snowflakes. No, she's actually goes out there and actually does the damn thing, which is what I like. But that doesn't excuse her from being a hood rat. The nails, the eyelashes, the wild hair, the wild colored hair, that's who she is, which I have no problem with. The tattoos, all that kind of stuff. She is who she is. She wears it on her sleeve. So it doesn't surprise me that she gets popped for smoking weed, which is typical for 85s and some 87s. The problem with 85s, they don't have impulse control. And I heard a lot of people say that she didn't have any male leadership or any male guidance. That's BS, okay? BS. You cannot get to that level without training for many, many years under strict coaches. And most of those coaches are male. You can tell by her physique that she's been in the weight room. She wasn't in the weight room with no women. She's in the weight room with guys. She's trained like a guy. It's the only way you can get a sprinter to that elite level. Very few women can actually train a woman to be that elite. So she's run against guys. She's trained with guys. She's got male coaches. She has exemplary male leadership. So that's not it. She is who she is because I've seen guys get busted for the same thing. So her being who she is and her being in her environment and all that kind of stuff, there's no way to excuse what she did. I'm going to say it right here. Sha'Carri Richardson's a dumbass. She's a dumbass, okay? This girl's probably been running since she's like 6 or 7 years old. You've been training 14, 15 years to get to this point, and you cannot stay off the doggone weed for what, 6 months? Come on. Like I said in Art of It Moore's channel, if that was my daughter, I'd have the belt. You want to be this childish and this stupid for 6 months? You don't have that. You have that little impulse control. I'm going to beat your behind with a belt because that's what you deserve. I'm not going to treat you like an adult. Treat you like a little hard-headed child because that's what you are. There is no excuse for this. You know, I'm in my 60s. I've been watching the Olympics since 1968. I've been watching the Olympics since 1968. That has been the Olympics policy since I've known about the Olympics, about the drug testing policy. And it's only gotten more intense. I know too many people that didn't make it for drug testing. I know people that had their medals stripped because this one guy had an inhaler, okay, that had a little bit of steroid in the inhaler because he was an asthmatic. He had his Olympic medal stripped. This is back in the 1970s. Everybody knows that Olympic testing is intense for drugs. That's how come she couldn't say anything. You know when you're going to get tested. You know what you're going to get tested for. They give you a whole list of things that you cannot take, even down to over-the-counter medication. There's over-the-counter medication that you cannot take as an Olympic athlete because it comes up in your blood, comes up in your pee. You're going to get popped. For THC to be in your blood, in your urine, you had to have been doing this recently. It can't have been 6 months ago, 3 months ago. Okay, you've been training for the Olympics for the last 2 or 3 months to qualify, and you can't stay off the weed for 3 months until after the Olympics. Then you can actually go to the dispensary. Okay, after you get your gold medal and you come home from the Olympics, you can go to any dispensary in the United States. You can smoke weed until you can't see straight for free. They'll send you bags of weed for free. They'll hand deliver bags of weed at your house for free if you just do what you need to do. But your dumb ass cannot stay off the doggone weed for 3 months so your pee can get clear and you can run this event, get your accolades, get your gold medal that will stay with you for the rest of your life. You're a dumbass. She knows she's a dumbass. You're a dumbass, ratchet chick. okay? And everything that's on your sleeve, in your hair, in your eyelashes, you just proved who you really are. Everybody gave you a pass. Okay, she wears the pink hair and the yellow hair and whatever color. She wears the long eyelashes. She's got all these tats all over her body. We give her a pass because guess what? She's on her mission. She's standing on her square. She's doing a doggone thing. She's got some discipline, right? Everybody gives you a pass because you're an exceptional athlete. And to get to that level, you got to have a lot of discipline. Actually go there and do the workouts, lift the weights, and stay on the diet, and all the other things that need to be done. The thing is, to come out and get popped for weed of all things, come on. You know how many athletes I see not go to the NFL, to the NBA, not even get into college because they can't stay off the weed? Artie Morris actually told a story about a center. His name was Robert something. I can't remember his name. I have to look him up. And he was out of, I think it was out of the University of Washington, if I'm not mistaken. And he only did 2 years. He only played for 2 years because he couldn't stay off the weed. He couldn't stay eligible, couldn't stay off the weed. He played 2 years, but he was an exceptional talent. 7 feet tall, block shot, athletic, good jump shot, good addition to the Lakers, who desperately needed the center. So Jim Buss brings the guy in. Guy's got behavioral problems, right? In other words, he's a rebel. He's a hood rat. He's a hood dude, street dude, right? And his problem is weed. So Jim Buss brings him in. They get him coaches. They personally handle this guy, get him to stay off the weed long enough so they can clear himself, get into the NBA, and start making some money. Good talent. The guy dodges his handlers and goes missing for a couple days because he wants to smoke weed. Now I know weed can be addictive, right? Not like cigarettes. It's not addictive like heroin or something a little bit stronger. But my goodness, if you can't walk away from weed long enough, you need to go into a program. You need to go get that handle so you can actually be successful in your career, so it doesn't become a hindrance to you. And I see everybody all over the nation, because they have enlightened self-interest. They want to see the girl. I want to see the girl run. I want to see the girl run. I want to see the girl win. But her behavior doesn't surprise me. She wears it on her sleeve. And instead of taking up for her, people should be embarrassed, because she's far too typical of not only hood chicks, but also black women. They have no impulse control. And they want people to feel sorry for her because you messed up. All you had to do is stay off the weed for 3 months. That's it. Till you finish running. You could have smoked for the rest of your life if that's what you wanted to do. But you would have had that gold medal. You'd have had a career. You'd have made millions of dollars. And you throw all that stuff in jeopardy because you want to take a puff of weed. And said because your mother died. Understood. Go get a counselor. Go get a shrink. Go get some alcohol. Go get something else that doesn't appear on the restricted list for the Olympics. You have this whole list. Your coaches talk to you. The International Olympic Committee talks to you. All these people send you all this kind of literature. They have meetings, they have seminars, they have all this kind of stuff to warn you what to do and what not to do. And you do it anyway. All that work, you're tossing it in the garbage. For what? Because you can't stay off the weed for 3 months. It's not like it's forever. It's not like you have to stay off it year round. 3 months so you can get tested. And people say, well, it's harmless. It's not performance enhancing. Agreed. Not even gonna argue the point. It's probably not going to affect your running one way or the other. Most likely not. And that's not the point. It's on the list. Those are standards that you have to meet so you can run at their event and be successful. It's not your event, it's their event. It's not an American Olympics, it's an International Olympics. Those are the rules that you have to go by. Everybody knows those rules. They've known those rules for years. People even know how to get by with it to mask your urine from the test. These tests are very sophisticated. That's how come you couldn't say that you didn't know what you were doing, because you did. You couldn't say that you didn't smoke the weed because it's there. These tests are very sophisticated. They probably tested you 3 or 4 times to make sure that they had it correct. They don't just do stuff willy-nilly. That tells me that you knew and you're a dumbass. And you before you even put it up to your lips, you knew you're already in trouble. You knew you're in trouble. You knew as you sat down to pee, they were going to pop you. But that's the millennials. She's not even millennial, she's a Z. And I had high hopes for the Zs that they wouldn't be this dumb. You can't get any dumber than this. It's one thing if you don't know. It's one thing if you think there's a fudge factor. You know, they tell you beforehand that you're going to get popped for it. Your coaches tell you you can't smoke weed between this time and that time because you're going to get tested in this date range. You're going to get tested like a few weeks before the Olympics. You already know when they can tell you when you need to stop smoking weed because the coaches know you smoke weed. They do. They know your habits because they see you every day. They can. I know you blaze up. You come to your workout. They can see it in your eyes that you've been smoking weed. And somebody sat down and talked to you about staying off the weed long enough to get tested. I've been a coach. That's what I would have done. I can't stop you from smoking weed. All I can tell you is you're gonna get ready to get tested at this date. You need to have your pee clear for this amount for a month or two before you get tested, just to make sure that you don't get popped. Can't even do that. You don't deserve to run. That's my opinion. You don't deserve. If you're that dumb to not restrict yourself for that amount of time, you don't deserve to run. You deserve to be on the corner with everybody else smoking your weed and drinking your juice. Okay, like every other hood rat. That's what you deserve. If you don't have enough self-discipline, which you should have because you're a trained athlete, not to put that up to your lips, you don't deserve to run, in my opinion. Getting tired of people like this. Ain't no whine. They're not going to bend the rules for you. Grow up. Anyway, sound like an old grandpa right now. But that's all I got for you guys. This is BGS out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.